Hello guys, welcome to another exciting day. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to YG Digital World. I'm your regular host, Joseph. So in today's design video, I'll be guiding you through how to create a wonderful product flyer for a brand. Okay, in doing this precisely, I'll be making use of Photoshop 2023. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to smash the subscribe button, turn on the post notification to get notification whenever I upload new content. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always watching. Please don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to smash the like button now. Okay, so in doing this, I have to create a Canva workspace for this project. Okay, so first thing first here, I'll have to click on the new on my Photoshop. So after clicking on new, here you have the new document panel comes up. So here we'll be making use of inches of measurement, that is units of measurement of 5 by 7 precisely, resolution on 300, and color mode remains on RGB. This design will basically be used on social media platforms. So after that, come over here and give the project a name. We can call this product. Okay, and we can click on the create button. Okay, here on our Photoshop, you can see here is our Canva workspace. Okay, precisely on which this design will be carried out. So in the first phase of this design, I have to drag in the exercise files. So after dragging them into the Photoshop Canva workspace, I have to turn off the layers. Okay, so first thing first here, I have to create our background for this project. So I'll enable this product image here. Come over here to my adjustment panel, enable the solid fill. Okay, I'll use my color picker to sample color along this region. Okay, so I'll just come this way and increase the saturation to this. Okay, I think this is actually looking nice. So after doing that, here is our product image. Please make sure that yours is converted to a smart object so that it will actually maintain a quality whenever we scale up or scale down the size of the image. Okay, here is the product image that we'll be working on. So first and first here, I need to make a duplicate of this image, so I can hit Ctrl J. After doing that, hit Ctrl T, right click and click on flip vertically. So I'll left click holding shift and drag downward this way. Okay, I'll check. After doing that, I have to drag this copy layer beneath the main layer. So after taking the copy layer beneath, next phase here, I need to work on the depth of my background. Okay, so I need to turn off this precisely. Okay, come over here, create a new layer. Okay, come over here and pick my rectangular marquee tool precisely. Okay, after doing that, all I have to do is to come over here and make a selection of this nature. Okay, after making a selection of this nature, come to my gradient precisely. Okay, on my gradient here, this is a preset color I'm using for this. Okay, while on this edge we have black, but I turn off the opacity to 0, so it's not visible, only the red is visible. Okay, so I'll click on OK. So all I have to do, make sure that my linear gradient is selected precisely. So I'll come over here and left click and drag downward this way. Okay, I'm trying to apply the effect to the project. Okay, so after doing that, come over here, click on the max layer precisely. So after clicking on the max layer, I'll come over here and change this to radial precisely. Okay, so I'll just hold shift. I need to brush out some of these this way. Okay, okay, so I'll come over here to enable this precisely, that is the one flipped upside down. So I'll hit Ctrl T and make sure it is positioned properly. Let me zoom in. Okay, you can see it's not positioned properly, so I'll adjust the position. I can hit Ctrl T, right click and click on the wrap. Okay, and adjust the position this way, and I can adjust the position this way. Okay, that's for that. Come over here, Ctrl T, right click and adjust the position as well. Okay, okay, so after doing that, you click on OK. That is for this particular phase. So in the next phase here, so let me zoom out. Okay, in the next phase here, I have to work on this. Okay, so I come to my filter here all the way to blur motion blur and adjust my blur, let me see, to about something of this nature, and adjust the angle. Okay, can adjust the angle to, let me see, -7 precisely. So I can click on create. So after transforming it, you can come over here, add the max. Okay, come to your gradient, make sure your gradient is selected and your opacity remains on 35. Okay, so you come over here, make sure that you're still working on the radial. Okay, your max is selected, so you just come over here, hold shift and you slide this way. You start brushing out some of this reflected image. I'm trying to give that illustration of this image is sitting on this bag of chips is sitting on a flat surface precisely. So I'm trying to create a reflection on the floor precisely. So after doing that, all I have to do next is to reduce the opacity for this image to about, let me say, 60. Okay, so after doing that, I will come over here. I need to make this look real, like the background is too sharp, the edges are too sharp. So I'll come to my filter here, all the way to blur and all the way to Gaussian blur. So I can come here, increase the blur radius precisely. I think this is okay this way. So I'll click on OK. So after doing that, I'll move to the next phase of this design phase. Okay, that has to do with this precisely. So that is this precisely. So I need to add depth to the main product itself. So how can I do this? I can do this by double clicking on the layer. Okay, after double clicking on the layer, I can come over here all the way to my inner glow. Okay, I need to add more depth to this. Okay, so over here, make sure this is set on bonds, on multiply rather. Change the fill color by sampling the color along this side. I need to add depth of shadow at the bottom part of this flyer of the chips bag precisely. So after doing that, I leave my opacity the way it is this way and other settings the way they are. So I'll click on OK. After doing that, you right click on where you have the inner glow and come over to create a new layer. Okay, we have this. So here you can add a vector max. Okay, after adding a vector max, pick your brush. Okay, and control the strength of your brush. Let me to say about 60% precisely. Make sure your black your foreground color is set on black. Make sure your max is selected. So you can come over here and take out some of this. Okay, so you take it out from this top region. Okay, so the shadow should be added to the bottom region of this chips bag precisely. Okay, you can see the effect. Okay, that is for that. Okay, that's for that. So we'll come again over here, double click on this again, come to inner glow. This time around, we'll change the blending to screen and we'll have to pick a color along this region. Okay, and click on OK. Leave other settings the way they are. Click on OK. Okay, so come here as well, right click and convert this again one more time to create layer. Okay, so come over here, add the vector max. Make sure your foreground color is still set on black and your vector max is selected. So all you have to do is to maintain flows of your brush. Okay, precisely we are using the soft round brush, please. So come over here and we'll take out some pixels for this. So to regain, you switch to using X on your keyboard to regain most of those effects. Okay, so use X to switch back to your black and you can take out some of those effects, okay, on your product. Okay, that's for that. You can see it. Okay, that is for that, and this is for this. So you notice now our reflection is not too strong. How can we improve this reflection? So I can come over here in between the main layer of this and this. I can add a layer over here. Okay, pick my brush. Okay, after picking my brush, I can right click and change the shape this way. Okay, start changing the shape this way. I'll make sure that my foreground color is set on black precisely. Okay, so scale up using the bracket key beside your P button. Okay, right click and still scale this down a little bit. That's for that. So I can come over here and brush this way by left clicking precisely. Now we have the effect over there. You can still come again. hit Ctrl T. Let me zoom in so that you see the effect properly. Okay, that's for this. So hit Ctrl T, scale it out properly. You check, hit Ctrl J to make another duplicate of the same layer. Ctrl T. Okay, transform and adjust the size the way you want it. Okay, starting that, you check, you select the two layers and stamp visible. Okay, by hitting Ctrl E, you have to merge the two layers together. Okay, start merging the two layers together. All I have to do is to pick my eraser tool over here. Okay, scale down and control your flow, return your flow to 100. Scale the size of your brush using the P button and take out some of this. Okay, over here as well, take out some of this. Okay, you can now see it on a project. Okay, that's for that. So I'll come over here to my filter all the way to motion blur. I can increase the blur direction, the angle precisely to this, and I can still choose to scale this up this way. Okay, check, hit Ctrl T again. You can still control the angles. Okay, and you can still check as well. Pick your move to adjust this, the shadow reflection. Okay, so after doing that, and come again, pick the eraser tool and take out some of these. Okay, properly clean them out. Okay, I think this is looking nice, but I need to still fade this a little. So I come to my filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and all I have to do is to play along the radius. Okay, I think this is good enough. Okay, Ctrl T and adjust it this way. Okay, so you can still choose to scale it out this way. I think this is actually coming to life precisely. Okay, so pick your eraser tool and take out those sharp edges a little. Okay, so you zoom in, come over here, select the layer, okay, and make sure this layer which is selected is transformed. Okay, I notice I can't transform this because of the blur I added earlier, so I right click to convert this to a rasterized layer. Okay, so I'll hit Ctrl T to transform, right click and wrap these angles this way. So I can wrap it this way. Okay, I need them to align properly together. Okay, so after doing that, so I'll click on OK precisely. That is for that. Okay, that is for this particular phase of this project. So in the next phase of this project, okay, I think this is my shadow, so I can rename this layer to shadow precisely. Okay, so after renaming this to shadow, I move to the next phase by adding a new layer over here. Okay, so I'll pick my brush, right click and select the soft round brush precisely. Okay, so you can come over here and sample a color this way. All you have to do is to just left click to apply the effect. Okay, that is for this. So after doing this, all I have to do next is for me to select my eraser tool. Okay, make sure it's selected and come over here, reduce my flows, let me see to about 20 precisely, scale up the size of your brush. So I can come over this way and do some blendings precisely. Okay, I think this is okay. This is before and this is after. So after doing this, we'll move to the next phase for this project, which is adding another new layer over here and come over here. Okay, and can come over here precisely, pick a triangle. Okay, you can make a triangle of this nature. Okay, so after doing that, turn off your stroke and enable your fill precisely. So I'll sample a color for this precisely. So I'll click on OK. So after doing that, hit Ctrl T, right click and flip this vertically. Okay, and position it along this edge. Okay, so after positioning it there, all you have to do is to hit Ctrl J to make a duplicate, Ctrl T to transform. Okay, and make sure this is enabled, please make sure this is enabled and all you have to do is to come over here and after enabling that, pick this pointer and position it towards this edge, rotate it this way. Okay, you can then extend the size this way, so you check. Okay, please rasterize the layers. Okay, so after doing that, all you have to do next is to come back to where you have this layer, hold Ctrl Shift or T on your keyboard to keep on making multiple duplicates of the same effect. You can see the effect on the whole project. Okay, that's for that. So I'll select the first layer at the top all the way to the last layer at the bottom and hit Ctrl E to merge the layers together. So over here, I'll change my blending to screen and reduce the opacity. Okay, come to my filter here, blur, and all the way to spin precisely. Okay, all the way to radial precisely. So make sure the zoom is selected, good option is selected, and I'll set this to, let me say about 73. Okay, is okay for this. Okay, so after setting this on 73, you can come over here, pick your eraser tool. Okay, control the strength of your eraser tool, and you come over here and brush out some of the pixels. Okay, for that layer, you take them out. So after brushing out, we move to the next phase of this design. Okay, by adding another layer over here. Okay, that is above this layer. Scale up the size of your brush. Okay, pick your brush selected. Okay, maintain flow, and you just brush a little bit this way. Okay, that's for that. Okay, that's for this. So I can still choose to still add more depth to this by adding a layer over here. Hold Alt in between the layer over here. You can hold Alt to merge the to clip this layer to this set of other layers. Come over here to your edit and over to filter here precisely. 50% gray option is enabled and overlay is the color mode, and we'll click on this. Okay, so after doing that, we'll come over here to where we have our color and adjust the color to something of this nature. Okay, so after doing that, hit backspace to apply this and change the blending mode to overlay. Okay, you can see this is before and this is after. So I'll come back here and make sure I'm using the reflect gradient. So all I will have to do here is to hold Shift and apply the effect. Okay, so I will come over here and do it this way, apply it on these edges. Okay, I need the background reflection on this product on these edges, so I will come over here, do this way, apply the effect where I need them to be. Okay, so I'm trying to apply more depth to the product. This is before and this is after, so I will come here and reduce the opacity, okay, on the product itself. Okay, before and after. Okay, our project is finally coming to life. So after doing this, I'll move to the next phase of this design project. So on this next phase, it has to do with enabling of this precisely, that is the logo. I need to pick it and place it along somewhere of this nature. Okay, then as well as this. Okay, Ctrl T, make sure it's converted to a smart object, please. You can come this way and adjust the size. Okay, you place it how you need it to be on this project. You just rotate it and place it how you want it to be. So check, hold Alt to make a duplicate, Ctrl T, rotate it as well to your own angle of choice. Check, hold Alt, make a duplicate, Ctrl T, rotate it to an angle of your choice. Okay, scale it down and place it along this edge here. Check, hold Alt to make a duplicate, scale this down. Should be very, very small in size. Okay, like making it out of focus. So for this, I'll come over here, blur, motion blur, and choose the direction for this blur precisely. Okay, and choose to control the strength. that is the focus. Okay, I think that's for that. Click on OK. Come to this as well. Okay, blur, motion blur, and change the angle this time around. Let me see. You can still choose to adjust the distance as well. Same here. Come over here and motion blur. Okay, over here as well. So and choose to increase the blurriness and click on OK. So the main focus here is this. Okay, so over here hit Ctrl T to transform this. Right click and click on the wrap precisely. Okay, so I just need to play with the shape this way for these chips this way. So I'll click on OK. So come over here, Ctrl T, right click and flip it the way I need it to be. Check. Okay, that's for that. Hit Ctrl T, transform the size, scale it down, and check as well. So after doing that, I'll come over here in between the two layers and add a new layer precisely. After adding a new layer, I'll come over here, pick my brush. Okay, right click and adjust the angle as well. Okay, so all I have to do is to scale down the size of the brush. Okay, and make sure that it is set with the same feel of background color. Okay, so I'll come over here, left click and brush this way. So after doing that, filter, blur. Okay, motion blur, set the angle on this. Okay, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Okay, click on OK, pick my move tool, Ctrl T. Okay, turn off this please and adjust the position this way please. Okay, so I'll come over here, pick my eraser tool and scale down the brush size, the eraser size. I think this is okay this way, so I can still choose to play with the opacity. Okay, that is for that. Okay, so after doing that, we'll move to the final phase of this project by standing visible Ctrl Alt E. Okay, come over here and click on the color balance. Okay, on our color balance here, add a little red to the project. Okay, you just play along to see how it looks on the design project. Okay, I think this is actually okay this way. Okay, so after doing that, we'll stand visible Ctrl Alt Shift E again. Okay, after doing that, we need to do another effect here. Okay, it has to do with coming to filter again, blur, radial. I'll be using the same parameter we used earlier and click on OK. Okay, this is the effect we have here. So add a vector mask to this, hit Ctrl I to invert the mask, pick my brush, right click and convert my brush to a soft round brush, and all I have to do is to scale up the size. So all I have to do here is to make sure my foreground color is set on white so that I can gain part of those hidden layers. Control the size of your brush, apply it a little here, as well as this, apply it a little here. Okay, apply it as well here, scale up this, apply this a little. Okay, that is for the effect of the blur precisely. So after doing that, we'll come here again all the way to our adjustments, color lookups, and select a good color lookup. Make sure you're on the main thumbnail please. So select a color lookup, you see the effect. So you just select the one that is actually good for you. You just go around, you see the one that works perfectly fine for you. Just make use of that particular one for the product. Okay, I think this is okay. So all I have to do is to, let me see, scale down the opacity. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's video tutorial. If you find this tutorial helpful, please don't forget to give this video a like. Please don't forget to give this video a like. If you're a new subscriber on the channel, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, turn on the post notification to get notification whenever I upload new content. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always watching. Okay, please don't forget to give this video a like. Okay, thank you guys for watching.